Beautiful. Hi, Aunt Chloe.
Hi, Roland.
Well, tell me, what's your very first memory?
Well, one of the first memories I had was when I lost my first tooth. And it was real loose, and I wouldn't let anybody pull it, They was afraid I was going to swallow it. And we were sitting at the table one day, and everybody was trying to get me to let them pull a tooth, and I wouldn't do it. And Mama come around and said, "Let me see." And I opened my mouth. She reached in there and got it, Tongue up there. The tooth was gone. She had gone off in the kitchen already. And
How old were you then?
Maybe 4.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. I don't know. I don't know when you lose your first teeth.
Yeah, that's all right. Where were you living?
Well, we called it the Eldo Stroud place. It was out of Crooked Creek, close to Crooked Creek Church. You know where Crooked Creek Church is?
I do. Where it used to
Is it still there?
No,
I didn't think it was. If I had a car and was young enough to drive around, I would like to just drive down in there and go to all the old places, that where I lived and visit again. But
was your dad farming?
Yeah, he rented it and farmed it.
That thirds and fourths?
And of course, that was before Jay was born. I was the youngest kid then. And then I remember when I was about 10, I accepted the Lord and was baptized in Crooked Creek. We was going to Crooked Creek Church, and that it was named after that creek. And I was scared of water.
Oh.
But there was several of us, and there was a grown man in the bunch, and he went ahead, and I grabbed his hand and we waded out in that creek. I can't remember who all was baptized at the same time I was, but.
Was that at a revival meeting?
Yeah, we had revival meetings down there.
Was your daddy preaching then?
No, I think it was Brother Good. I don't remember for sure who the pastor was, but I think it was Brother Good. And we'd go Saturday morning, Saturday evening, Sunday night, all the week. Every weekend we'd go. Well, we didn't have church every weekend, but the weekends we did have church. We'd go 3 services. And of course we had to go in the wagon.
How far did you live from the church?
You know where the old home place is. I don't know, 2 or 3 miles, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And at night, we'd be in the back of that wagon coming home and we'd see the stars. We could see shooting stars, And I'd like to go out in the country where it's real dark, where I could see the stars again.
Mm-hmm.
But probably won't ever get to do that.
Tell me about your mother. What was she like?
Well, she was a good mother. She taught us how to cook and wash dishes and all that kind of stuff, do all kind of things that we needed to learn, She worked hard, and she used that little willow limb every once in a while, She kept one in the house. We knew to behave or we'd get it.
Did your daddy use it too?
Papa never hit me but one time. Then I was picking beans. And I was always real slow. slow as stale. They was fussing at me to hurry up. And Papa was plowing over there close. And I told him, if I didn't want to pick beans, there wasn't nobody big enough to make me pick beans. I didn't mean Papa, I meant them. Well, they told Papa what I said. That he licked me a time or two with a plow line. And it hurt real bad because I didn't think I deserved it, It really didn't hurt, but it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
He didn't hit me hard enough to hurt me. But anyway, when we picked cotton, other people could get 100 pounds a day. I could work as hard as I could. I could never get 100 pounds. We used to, school didn't start till the 1st of September, and we'd have to hurry up and get that cotton picked before school started. Be out there in that hot sun, dragging that cotton sack. One time, several years ago, I was working and drawing unemployment, and we had to go downtown to the unemployment agency, to sign up for jobs. And me and some more women had been down there, and we were going down the road, and there was a bunch of people out there chopping cotton, out there on that black land, And one woman said, I never had the privileges of growing up on a farm. I said, well, growing up on a farm had its privileges, but chopping cotton wasn't one of them.
You wouldn't consider that a privilege.
I didn't appreciate that one. We chopped cotton, thin corn, and we had an orchard, had peach trees and apple trees. And I would take our paring knives and go out there and climb a peach tree and eat peaches.
Mm. Was that in Van Zandt?
Yeah, Van Zandt. Down there at the old home place, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, you live just down the road from Uncle Albert, right?
About a mile, I guess, from him. It was across the creek.
Okay.
Across the creek over there. So he had kids about my age,
okay.
And Margie and Hazel and them, Haskell. And
you live just down the road from your grandmother, Lucinda, right?
Well, Grandma died. She lived with us when I was about 4 or 5 years old. She was invalid, she lived with us. And Grandma Heddins, after Uncle Jim's wife died, she moved in with him and raised his kids, And I was about 16 when she died. She lived with Aunt Effie when she was at the time she died. She was living with Aunt Effie. Uncle Jim lived at Old Bethel down the other side of Canton, down there from us. Mm-hmm. Papa pastored down there, so and we'd go over there to church, and always go to Uncle Jim's for dinner, One day there's a group of us girls went home with my cousins, from church. And Grandma was busy cooking dinner. One of the girls was sitting on the table. She said, "Get off the table. That's a sign you want to get married." All the girls piled on the table. Grandma always said, "A whistling gal and a crowing hen always come to some bad end." She didn't want us whistling. I love to whistle. Yeah. Used to. I don't whistle anymore. But
So
anyway,
did your grandmother Heddins ever live with you?
no,
Just
not
with Uncle Jim?
not really live with us. She'd visit us a lot, you know. But Grandma Barber did. She lived with us when I was little.
My grandpa was still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He told about him and Percy getting into your grandmother's whiskey for her asthma. Do you remember that? She took whiskey for asthma.
I don't remember that.
Grandpa got in trouble.
Yeah. I never saw either one of my grandpas. Mama's daddy died when she was about 11 years old, and Grandpa Heddins died during that flu epidemic in 1918. And I wasn't born until 1920. I didn't get to see either one of my grandpas.
I thought they said he had tuberculosis. It was some kind of respiratory.
I didn't know that.
You were born on the Eldor Stroud place, and then where did you move
No,
from?
I was born in the old home place. We were all born.
Oh, the home place.
Okay. Yeah, at the old home place. Yeah, but for some reason, I guess we rented it out, and we moved over to the Eldor Stroud place. And I don't know how long we lived there. Then we moved back to the old home place. And that's where I started school. We had to walk about 3 miles to Willow Springs School.
Was that a 2-room school? 2 rooms?
Yeah, 2-room school. The big room and the little room. And one year we had a picnic on April Fool's Day, I think it was. Some of the kids played hooky, you know, and they didn't know we were going to have a picnic, so they missed it. The teachers took us on a picnic. So some holiday, I think it was April Fool's. And I went to school there till in the 7th grade. I was through the 6th grade out there, and I think 7th grade started at Edgewood. We rode the bus then, you know. So we had moved to the Barber place where we started riding the bus.
You moved to the
Barber place?
Oh, where your grandmother lived?
Yeah. We lived there for a few years. And then we moved over in the Mount Lebanon community and went to grade school. I only went there for a few weeks. I was a senior year, and Mama got this cancer under her breast. A mole went bad, and some old quack doctor took it off with a plaster, you know, and it damaged her arm, the ligaments in her arm. So I had to stay home and keep house. Little Nels graduate.
Wow.
Well, then we moved down by Canton, in the Wallace community, and I went to Canton School. Then we moved to Myrtle Springs, and I went to Wilsport School, but I never did graduate. I got married.
Oh.
Got married.
Your MRS degree.
Oh, I like 2 credits graduate.
Oh.
Inez went on, got her college degree, got her master's degree, you know, taught school. They thought that being her senior year and as old as she was, she needed to go ahead and graduate, you know. So it was decided that I stay home.
So you were home until you married?
Yeah.
And how old were you when you married?
17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 17.
When did you move to Polk County?
We moved to Polk County, I think in 1940.
So that was right after you married?
Well, a year or so. We didn't stay married. I had moved back home, and Papa got a church down there to pastor out of Livingston, out there, a little place called Swab City. It had been a little oil field town, you know, Swab City. So we moved down there, and I worked in the school cafeteria down there. Mom took care of Donna. I went back to school at Edgewood after I moved back home, but Mama got sick and she wasn't able to take care of Donna, so I had to quit school and stay home, take care of Donna.
And then you married a second time.
Yeah, married after we moved to Swab City. Well, Esther lived out at a little country place out there, and Papa was preaching out there, and I went out there with him, and I met Esther out there.
So your papa was preaching there, and you met Esther there.
Yeah. He didn't. I don't think he pastored. He just went down there sometimes to preach, and he couldn't drive well at night. He couldn't see good at night, so somebody always went with him in case he tried to get off the road or something. You know, we could tell him. So I went down there with him, and that's when I met Esther.
What was the old home place house like?
We had, it had a living room, dining room, kitchen. Then it had a bedroom here and a long front porch and a L-shaped back porch and a cistern in the corner of the porch there. And it had a attic up there. It had up over the two front rooms. There was another room up there, you know, and the boys slept up there. That was their bedroom.
Like a loft?
Had stairs to go up there, you know. And
pretty good sized house.
Yeah.
That was the old home place?
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, there was salt licks on that old farm. There was two places where the salt come up through the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nothing would grow there.
The cows liked it.
But there was good berry vines on the fence between us and the farm next door. We could pick berries along the fence there, you know. There was a red house, and it set back off the road. And Pat's wife, Inez's family lived there. And then that was kind of across the road from the Barber place. Not right across, but, you know, it was on the other side of the road, a little ways down. Between us and that and the Barber place. And Pat got to go in with her and married her. She had a sister named Alma that she was between mine and Inez's age, but we always run around together, you know. And went to school at Willow Springs together. And HB lived up the road a little ways. And we finally got to dating. We'd walked to school together for a long time before we ever got to go out together, you know.
Your papa used to read to you kids, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And he'd play games with us. We'd line up in front of the fireplace. And he said, I've been hearing number one telling tales on number two. And if number one didn't say, no, sir, not I sure will. He'd say, go foot number one. We'd switch out like that. And he'd read to us. He was reading to us one time about Gulliver's Travels. Did you ever read that?
Mm-hmm.
Mama said, that's not no good book to read. Said, that's a bunch of lies. And at that time, we was going to Willow Springs School, and we didn't have a library per se. You know, we had some books that was on a table in a cloakroom that we called the library table. Jay said, Mom, it's supposed to be lies that come off the library table. Me and him used to play snuff bottle cars together. Did you ever see one of them old brown snuff bottles? Mm-hmm. I've got one of them over there.
I've got one.
We'd fill them up with dirt. They made excellent cars, you know, in that deep sand in front of that Barber house.
Oh.
There by that old tree, you know, there was a big pecan tree there in the front yard. Had roots on top of the ground, you know, and deep sand. And we could make fast little garages and everything, little roads and everything, you know. We had one. I was 15 years old before I quit playing with him like that. We'd hear a car coming, you know, but then you could hear a car coming for a mile. We'd hear a car coming. I'd be sitting on the tree root, you know, just watching him play.
Oh, yeah.
I never remember Mama ever telling me to watch after him, you know, or tend to him or anything, but we played together a lot. He's 7 years younger than me. But he was my little brother, you know, and I did watch after him. When we lived down there at the old home place, when he was born, he's about 3 years old. That was a pier and beam, you know. We could crawl under there and play. And he bumped his head on one of them beams and crossed his eyes. That's how come he was cross-eyed.
Serious?
And so, of course, the kids made fun of him, you know, and really helped encourage his temper. He grew a temper. We'd fight. And he worked at the prison for him down there as a guard, you know, and the prisoners called him old Tangle-Eye.
Tangle-Eye.
And one time, when him and Columbus was pretty close to the same age, and just a year or two of difference in their age, and we lived down there. I think we lived at Vider, and they worked at the shipyards, you know, Percy and Jeff and Papa. And, of course, Joy and Clark was still in school. But they wanted to go to the movies one night. And Percy, it was school night, you know, he wouldn't let Clark go. He said he has to go to bed early. He said, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Jay said, I don't see that you're so wealthy. He said, no, but I'm a wise old bird. Esther worked in the shipyard too.
Oh, okay. How long did that job last? That just during the war?
Yeah, it was just during World War II. We wasn't down there the whole war, I don't think. I don't remember how long they lived down there, but he got working in painting in them ships, you know. He got the paint fumes bothered his lungs, and he had to quit. So we moved back to Camp Ruby, and he went back to the woods. He worked in the logging woods. Oh. We always had cows to milk, you know. And Joe and I On cold mornings, we congratulate each other. We don't have to get out and go milk the cow.
You were happy about that.
Yeah. But that good old cow milk, cream, that good old cream, butter.
Real thing.
Butter, yeah.
Your mother had a piano?
She had a pump organ. That's what we learned to play on. It's different from playing on a piano. You hold the keys longer on the organ than you do on the piano.
Mm.
But she played for church, and I never did play it for church, but our niece did. I played for church in later years, but she ordered music lessons for us, and I guess I studied them some, but I didn't take the grades like our niece did. She did the tests and all.
You had the pump organ at the home place?
Yeah. When we lived there even had it at the Barber place, But she let Pat have it for Virginia to learn on. And they let the rats get in it, and it ate the felts off,
Mm.
I don't know what they ever did with it. Threw it away, I guess.
So when you lived on the Barber place, you farmed right there?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, we farmed there. The Barber place was just an old country road out there, out of Crooked Creek, between Crooked Creek and Willow Springs, Our place was over here, and the Barber place was up here, about a mile up the road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a country road.
You were close to Blair Bridge, or in the direction of Blair. It was Blair Road, right? Canton Blair Road?
I'd forgotten about the Blair Bridge. We had a joke about blaring across the Blair Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
But I forgot where it was.
It was just down the road from your house, wasn't it? Maybe a mile?
No, that was the Crooked Creek Bridge. Where was the Blair Bridge?
It's, I believe, north of where you live. Tell me about your uncles and aunts.
Uncle Albert, Uncle Wesley. Uncle Albert had Ossie, Hazel, Margie, Haskell, Bo, and Ray. And Uncle Wesley had Floyd and
Etolia.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Charlie lived in Amarillo. The only time I saw him was when Grandma died. He came down for the funeral, My Papa had an old 39 Chevrolet, I think it was, way back there somewhere. But it was a sedan, had windows closed in. It was a closed-in car. And we rode around a lot one cold day, showing Uncle Charlie around, and me and I was enjoying the back seat. And we got home late that evening. It was nighttime actually. Mama had a fire in the fireplace, and we lived there at Myrtle Springs. And the little house, the living room was here, and the bedroom back there, and the fireplace in the middle there. And Inez and I we had quilts. We'd been wrapped up all day, We carried them in the bedroom, put them up. When we come back, she was behind me, and when I stopped at the door, I felt dizzy, and I reached for the door facing, and the next thing I knew, I'm sitting in front of the fireplace in a chair, and they're working over me, and it felt like that chair was lifting me up. I was that limp.
My goodness.
From that carbon monoxide. And when I came to, I threw up, in the fireplace. When I threw up, Jan and nothing else hit the door, throw it up outside. They didn't pass out, but they got sick. But anyhow, that's the only time I ever passed out.
Wow. What about your Uncle Marion? What do you remember about him, Uncle Marion?
Uncle Marion.
Did they live close to you?
Huh?
How far did they live from you?
Well, they lived between us and Crooked Creek on that road. Yeah, between us and Crooked Creek Church. He had Thomasine, Kathleen, Mary Frances, B.W., and Troy.
And Bruce.
And Bruce. Yeah. I saw Bruce one time at a reunion several years ago. I'm sure he's gone now.
He's gone, yeah.
And hadn't been to a reunion in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We used to have Mark Matthews reunions down at Humboldt, but we hadn't. If they had them, we hadn't been to going. I don't know whether they have them or not.
Yeah.
Jim.
Uncle Jim. Mm-hmm.
Jim had Gladys, Addis, Clovis, Jeffy,
Adolph.
And
Adolph.
Yeah, Adolph and what was his brother's name? Adolph, and he got killed.
Oh, yeah.
In the war.
Olin.
Yeah. Olin, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On Iwo Jima, I think he got killed on Iwo Jima. Yeah. Some one of them islands over there. Olin, I couldn't think. And
then Aunt Effie, too. Your Aunt Effie.
Aunt Effie, yeah. She had Minnie and Clarence. Clarence and Minnie. Clarence was older.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Effie was a twin. Uncle Albert was a twin. And Uncle Marion was a twin. Mm-hmm. Aunt Effie's twin lived. No, it was Uncle Albert's twin, I think, lived to be about 18 months old and swallowed a screw. Yeah. And died.
What do you miss the most about the good old days?
Well, my granddaughter, Donna, Joe's daughter, has always homeschooled her kids, And I've always felt like she's cheating them, because I enjoyed high school, going to school with other kids. Of course, they went to church, they got to be with other kids that way and had friends, but there's something about being in school, And,
of course, it's a different world now.
Yeah, drugs and everything. We didn't have it to put up with when I was going to school.
When did you first get electricity? Did you have any electricity in the Barber place?
No, we never had electricity when I was growing up. I can't remember when we first got. We never had indoor plumbing until we moved, but we didn't have electricity there. At Camden, Ester worked in the woods for Carter Lumber Company, and they built some new houses in Camden. We moved in one of them, and we had a bathroom. But I guess first time we had electricity was when we lived down there at Livingston. Well, not at Livingston. We was out of Livingston, out there a little ways. A little old place we call the Little Richardson house. Mr. Richardson lived up here on the road, and there was a little road went back here. And this little house that back there, we rented it. We had electricity back there. And then after that, after we built our house and moved over there, we had electricity. But I took in ironing after we got electricity, I took in ironing. And after we built our house, moved over there by where Inez and them lived, you know. You know where they lived?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. We lived down the road down there. And there was a pipeline went through. And I earned for 5 families besides my own. 5 families. I worked hard.
Do you remember how much money you made?
I made 10 cents for shirts and blouses and dresses, 15 for pants. Got rich.
Yeah. And that was an electric iron, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What year was that? Early 40s?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Now, when I was a kid, we had these little telephones on the wall, you know, party line.
Oh, when you were a kid?
Yeah. Each person had a certain ring, you know, 2 lines to the short, or 2 shorts to the long, or something like that, you know. And one time, Percy and them lived up there in the Barber house. We lived down there in the old home place. And Jeffy had a sister named Annabelle, and she was a little bit older than Inez. And they palled together, you know. And Annabelle would be down to our house. She started to go home. Mom and Dad and Inez go home with her, and I didn't want to go. And they wouldn't let me go. And Inez said, Annabelle said, "When you're a big girl, then you may go." Well, when they got home, got up to Percy's, well, they'd call back down there and we'll talk to me, you know. I'd get on the phone. They'd say, "When you're a big girl, then you may go." Get me so bad.
How old were you then?
Probably 10, 11, somewhere along there.
When you're big.
Yeah, Inez was a little older. Esther got a job. Well, Percy, he was working down there at a lumber company, hauling lumber.
Percy was?
No, my husband, Esther.
Okay.
And he got fired because the guy in the office, or somebody in the office, stole some money, and Esther got the blame. So they fired him. Later on, they apologized to him, you know, and offered him his job back. But Percy had some dump trucks. So after Esther lost his job, well, we moved to Dallas at the Pleasant Grove over there, you know. Esther drove one of his dump trucks. Yeah, Lily Bell.
Oh, my grandmother.
Or your grandmother, yeah. And they were packing tomatoes, you know. And Clifford said something she didn't like. She threw her tomatoes down and she said, "I'll not pack another tomato till you apologize for that." Finally, he said, "Well, I'll apologize if you make old Bud go around behind the house." Or he won't hear it.
Oh.
He called Roland Bud.
Bud, yeah.
Bud, you know.
He didn't want his brother to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, did he?
Yeah, she could love the hell right quick, you know, but she got over it right quick.
I didn't know that side of her. So she was feisty?
Yeah. They used to raise tomatoes for the market, you know, for Dallas market.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd pick them and pack them. They'd haul them to Dallas. And we raised cucumbers one year for the market. Can you imagine acres and acres of cucumbers? They're all on the ground under them stingy leaves, you know. You gotta bend over, and you need to take a stick and get the leaf out of the way so it'll sting your hand. Or we didn't have, we might have had an acre, but I don't know.
But that couldn't have been as bad as picking cotton.
Oh yeah, yeah it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's more stupid, you know.
Oh, sure.
Of course, when you pick cotton, those burrs would eat up your hands, you know.
Yeah.
And the grasshoppers would get on your bonnet. I still got two old bonnets, not the kind we wore when I was a kid. Mom made split bonnets. You ever see a split bonnet?
I don't know.
That's what we call it. She'd make them, and she'd sew places in there where she could put pieces of pasteboard, you know, to make the rim stand out, you know. Call them split bonnets. But I got two bonnets that we wore. One time we had a tacky party or something here, and I wore one of my bonnets. Vicky took a picture of me. It's out there in the lobby.
Oh.
Built a bulletin board.
I'll have to check that
She
out.
thought that was the cutest thing.
Well, tell me any memories you have of my dad when he was a little kid. What do you remember about him?
One time he come up there, and Donna that's after I moved back home, and we were out on the back porch and had her in the cradle out on the back porch. And I've been rocking the cradle, you know, and I got up to go do something. He said, "What you think I'm going to do? I'm not going to rock it."
Grandpa used to tell about when they were picking cotton. Grandpa would drag my dad on the cotton sack and tell him stories.
Yeah. He built his playhouses, you know. And Gerald got out there, and after he got a little bit bigger, you know, he tore them up. Charlie said, "Oh, how happy I was before I had a little brother." Little Belle would let him come up there visit, but she wouldn't let him stay about 15 minutes, you know. We'd have to watch the clock and send him home.
Really? Why just 15 minutes?
Just 15 minutes. She thought he'd get our way, you know.
Oh.
So, I don't know.
What was it like when the stock market crashed? How did that affect you? 1929. Now your daddy lost his land, right?
Yeah. But we, you know, we raised what we eat, and we had credit at Edgewood to buy groceries or whatever, you know, and pay up in the fall. I couldn't tell it's a whole lot of difference.
Wouldn't affect farmers so much since you grow your own food.
No, it wouldn't.
Now your dad went to work in Grand Saline as a mason, laying brick, right? That was in about 1930, Grandpa told me.
Mm.
Was that during the wintertime when he couldn't farm?
Yeah. He sold McNiff's products, peddled. He peddled.
Back in that.
They had all kind of things, you know, not groceries, but like flavoring and and soap and stuff like that. You know, staples that he could sell.
He would just drive around in the community and
and
sell.
Drive around and sell.
How long did he sell those products?
maybe 2 or 3 years.
Hmm. That was during the Depression, right?
Yeah, when we lived in Rural Springs.
That same time he started preaching?
Well, he started preaching before I can remember.
Hmm.
And we hired out to pick cotton for people there, to make us money for our school clothes.
Hard work.
Yeah. I don't know how Mama managed, I don't know how she managed to raise us all, keep us clothed and fed.
God was good.
Yeah,
He provided, didn't he?
yeah. We didn't know we was poor, because everybody else was too, We don't know the difference.
It's a relative term.
Yeah. Of course, when we got to Edgewood School, we realized some people had more money than we did.
The city folk, right?
Yeah.
Well, shall we call it quits? It's probably getting close to your bedtime, isn't it?
Oh, I don't go to bed about 9 o'clock. Everybody's dead but me.
Good. I'm glad you're still here.